Well, congratulations on the victory. I know every victory's nice, but this one had gotten kind of personal. There'd been a journey to get here. So give me the feeling right now. Is it a special feel after this one?
Oh, it's great, man. After like 6 months of hard work, like so much has been going on back in Italy. Things were going crazy with all around the war. Italy got hit kind of first. A lot of things. My grandpa died, passed away. And a lot of things, man. He pulled out. London, the guy pulled out. I was always ready. Many guys, I always said yes. Always almost cut. Like, if I have to cut to count all the pounds I cut throughout these 6 months, I think I'll go like around like 100 maybe, because so many times I went down close to like 203, 204, kind of like almost like. When I see 200, 201, I know I can make weight in the matter of like a week. So 2 weeks out, I might be like 203, 204. And I was like 203, 204. I dropped like every like 3-4 times throughout these times, plus 2 weight cuts. So a lot of diet in these 6 months. Man, it's just sweet, man. It's just sweet, yeah. And a lot of things I knew I knew the fight would have gone this way. Like, I didn't know exactly if I would have knocked him out or submitted him, but I knew he wasn't going. He wasn't ready to go all the way. So I knew at one point he would have faded.
Can you tell me where you were yesterday when you found out he didn't make weight, and what went through your mind? How did you find out, and what did you do?
You know about it? It's funny, man. So I was right making like my medicals, right? And I know it's always a question mark, his weight. So I'm looking up and I'm watching me while I do the medical. And I'm like, and the doctor is asking me stuff, and I'm like, no, what the fuck, this guy again, blah, blah, blah. And, and then the doctor was asking me, like, stay quiet, I gotta check your medicals and stuff. And I'm like, man, this guy just missed weight again. And then I come out, and the funny thing, the whole thing, now I'm a crazy guy. Like, it's like, Sean, I came out, Sean Shelby's like, Marvin, quiet. I'm like, I'm quiet, man, don't worry. Like, I'm not gonna jump on anybody. But yeah, man, that was, then he told me, and yeah, man, he fucked up. Like, he fucked up too many times. I don't know where he should go to fight after, but man, like, if he can't make weight. And I knew, man, and plus all these things, like, all these months, so much uncertainty, because I was like, man, how is he gonna make weight? How is he gonna make weight? It's impossible. I know he's not gonna make weight. He didn't make weight with all this time before, but nobody seemed like they was seeing my point. And I'm like, how this guy didn't see my point? This guy's not gonna make weight. In fact, he didn't make weight, but I didn't care about not making weight. In fact, there was not a moment where I said, nah, like, I was like, I don't care. Just step into that cage. And at least he did that, and he got his beating, and now, I mean, on we go.
I know the biggest goal for you is that rematch with Adesanya, but you'll probably have to get a couple wins to get there. What do you think is next for you? I know you said you weren't sure if you'd need some time off or if you'd want to fight again. So at this moment, what do you think the right next move is for you?
We'll see, but I want a ranked opponent. These Ian Haney's have been doing everything to duck me, and now he has another fight lined up. But honestly, like, whoever is in the top 15, top 10, man, I'm not the guy that gives a lot of credit to rankings, but I know I have to go through those to get a title shot. And it's still kind of a long road, but you know, so many things has been going on, and that's why I've been ready at any time for so long, because I'm like, I'm on a mission, man. These guys don't get it. I know coronavirus, safety, this and that, but man, I think different. Like, this is I don't know, people, like, they say, even like if you talk about, like, in general, they say this is your platform, this is not your life, this and that, but this is my life, man. Like, I just breathe, eat, and think MMA, and all I want is to get the title. So I need to keep going, and I couldn't let myself off the hook even throughout these adversities.
Marvin, right? Did you say your grandfather passed away?
Yeah, he was. He did. He has been sick for a long time. He was old. He was like 93 or 94. It was coming, but just the fact that I couldn't be there was bad. You know, like this is when family. It's important, like being around in hard times, and I mean, it was a long time coming in a sense. It wasn't something um, out of nowhere, but I wanted to be there. You know, I couldn't even be there for the funeral. I couldn't see him. So that's why that what hurt me. And yeah, man. I mean, in fact, I wanted to dedicate this win to him.
Is the rest of your family okay?
Yeah, and I wanna precise that like it wasn't because of the coronavirus. He just passed away. He was old and he passed away. Yeah, everybody else is good. Now in Italy, the situation is much better actually.
And then you said you had to cut weight a lot. You had to get your nutrition on point for like so many months. So physically, how did you feel in there after so many weight cuts back to back?
Oh man, I truly believe I have the best nutritionist in the game. He's not as known still, but he will be. He's Matteo Capodaglio with his Capo Nutrition, and man, we were sharp, man. I felt the best I've ever felt throughout these 6 months. Now that means we did a great job, even cutting on and off, whatever. Like we were just because they call me, I'm ready. If I say yes, I'm gonna be ready. Otherwise, I'm not gonna say yes. But if I say yes, I'm not gonna make no excuses. We're gonna fucking do it. But he did a great job, man. I'm sticking to his plans, and then he's doing. And again, like he's great with like, he's not the kind of guy that cuts all your carbs out, and you're just feeling like debilitated more and more and more throughout times. He knows his stuff, man. And I'm his first athlete. I've been with him forever, but he made so much improvement. He has other UFC fighters, Lauren Murphy also, and other people. But man, yes, we did a great job. I peaked at the right time, even throughout all these adversities and these uncertainty. I still felt the best tonight.
If you want to keep fighting frequently this year, I'm sure you're going to have to. You saw Fight Island was announced. You don't have any issues going to Abu Dhabi and having to quarantine there for like a month, do you?
I'll wait a moment to see what is going on, and then we'll see. I'm good. I'm good to go. I just I haven't been back home for a long time. A lot of things. Maybe I'm gonna catch a very little break. We'll see. We'll see how things are if I go back and I can come back really quick, or there's gonna be any quarantine times. Because I really pushed everything after this fight, so we'll see. But yeah, I want to be back in the mix pretty soon. I don't know if I will make it for Fight Island, but soon. Oh, really? I got a fucking bonus. First of my UFC fights. Fuck yeah!
Hey guys. Everybody got a performance of the night bonus tonight instead of fight of the night. Aguilera, Nam, Agapova, and Vittori all won $50,000. So congratulations to them. John Morgan, what do you got for me, buddy?
First night back cage side in the Apex, right? So I'm curious, kind of why you were there tonight. Normally you've been watching in the back, right?
It's the first one. No,
For you, have you been on it?
Brett asked me that too.
Yeah,
No.
I thought it was the first time you'd been there.
No, I've been watching it out there.
Nice. It was a card that was kind of getting criticized a little bit coming in. I know you don't really listen to the critics much, but it ended up being a great night. I'm just curious.
It always does.
I was gonna say, do you take personal pleasure when it's like maybe you hear people shitting on a card and it ends up being a night like that?
It's just, listen, 20 years. How many bad cards have we had in 20 years? I can count on one hand. Listen, not every fight is for everybody. Don't watch this one. Watch the next one. Don't watch the next 3. Watch the one after the. Believe me, we got nothing but fights going on all this summer. So if you don't like it, don't watch it. But everybody's got to jump in there and give their 2 cents and chime in. This card sucks. No cards suck. And if you're a fight fan, you watch all the fights.
Your main event, Cynthia Calvillo, I know somebody you had been high on. She had a couple setbacks. She moves up a division. What did you think about her first performance in the flyweight division?
She looked great tonight. She fought the perfect fight. I think that stand-up looked good. Her ground game looked good. Going into the 5th round, she stood, didn't sit on the stool, had a strong 5th round. She looked good. Her first 5-round fight. And, she looked good.
It's an interesting position because Jessica was the #1 contender. Now, I'm not saying that Cynthia should get a title shot next, but
right.
When somebody comes in to a new division and beats the #1 contender right away, do you consider them to be like in the mix at that point?
Listen, if you beat the #1 contender, look at Gilbert Burns. Just happened to him. When you beat #1, yeah.
Last thing for me, I know you don't like talk about the small cage, big cage difference, but everybody's been loving these fights, and they've been saying it's got to be that cage.
Were the fights in Jacksonville bad?
They weren't.
They were great. It's all an illusion. It's bullshit. It's not true.
Dana, a couple weeks ago when I asked you about there was a lot of backlash on the bonuses. Did you put a video out asking fans to pick?
Yeah, so I came in here last week and you guys were like, people are bitching about the thing, and then I said, who agreed with me? So I was sitting there thinking tonight, you know what? I'm going to let the fans and the media chime in before I get in the 10. So yeah, and Eric ran what'd you do? You ran the numbers on it to see what the fans and whoever from the media, voted, and we got percentages, so that's why we ended up just doing all performance of the night bonuses. So you were heard tonight before there's 3 of us that decide who's going to get them, and tonight everybody got the pick.
And Julia Villa got a big win. Her first, after she herself said a lot of fights falling out, a lot of stuff going on in the world. She posted a photo of you two talking after her fight. What did you say to Julia?
Yeah, incredible fight. She had an incredible performance. She looked good. And what I told her was, I said, listen, if you feel good, if you feel okay, and, adrenaline's still pumping, go home tonight, sleep, whatever, let's turn you right around and fight again. I love when kids look like that and turn right around. Her, Sugar Sean O'Malley, I mean, these kids that are on fire and have records like that, keep them fighting.
And then one final one. I'm sure you heard about the incident in San Antonio. Someone shot up a
crazy as that shit. This world is just fucking bananas right now. Agapova too. I think she should turn around and fight again too.
Well, the person that shot up that bar said, "Don't you know who I am? I'm a UFC fighter," but they haven't caught the guy or said his name. So as the president of a company, what goes through your head when you hear that?
Well, if you don't think that I heard about that one at 7 a.m. this morning, you know what I mean? I hope it's not true. But I hear that shit all the time. You know how many fucking bald guys in this town walk around and say they're me? It's mind-boggling, you guys. If I told you some of these stories, you wouldn't believe it. It's just crazy. So I'm hoping that that's the case.
One final one. Since you've announced Fight Island, how many fighters have reached out trying to get on a Fight Island card?
Well, we already have the Fight Island cards filled, so, but yeah, everybody digs it, everybody wants to be a part of it, and for us too, for me and my staff, it's gonna be a fun, unique, the safety zone, there's a 10-mile radius where it's just us. Nobody else in hotels, the restaurants, or any of that stuff, it's just us. So it's gonna be fun. All the fighters have their own private training facilities, and it's going to be badass. It's going to be a different experience. Even veterans who've been in this sport for a long time and done a lot of cool shit, this is going to be completely different than anything they've ever done.
Hey, Dana. Obviously, President Trump is talking about having rallies again, stuff like that, which begs up the question, when can you get fans back into the building? What do you need to see before you start thinking about going into arenas?
I think it's going to depend on, this whole thing is state by state or country by country. I know that there's a couple of states right now looking to open up to fans, and we're talking to them.
Would you consider doing a thing where you have fans socially distanced, or would you rather just, if you're going to do it, wait until you can do it fully?
Yeah, I won't do that. I won't do a 50% arena. I'll just stay here. It makes more sense just to stay here.
In New Zealand yesterday, they had their first sporting event, rugby, with fans. Could you potentially have Israel Adesanya fight Paulo Costa in New Zealand?
Was it a full arena? Yeah. Well, what's good is let them do that for a while and see how it goes and see what happens with, depending on which network you listen to, who the hell knows what's going on. So at least if some of these guys in these other countries who were hit before we were, so they're coming out of it before we are, and they can see how this thing plays out, and then we'll go from there.
Dana, to follow up on something you said, what do guys get away with pretending they're you?
A lot of shit. A lot of shit. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Real quick with Maria Agapova, we heard that she was sick following her victory. It was a quick one, so can you tell us what's the status of her?
No, she said she's sick. Huh?
So just a little winded after the fight?
Yeah, I didn't hear. Yeah.
Dana, you've talked a lot about how other sports leagues have already called you and how you socially distance and all your protocols. And I know you didn't say which ones, but what have they do? Can you tell us what they've asked for and how well you guys have done making all of this safe in terms of and do you think it's progressing each time you do this?
Well, we gave them the 30-page document that we gave to Florida and Nevada. We gave them the protocol that we used to reopen the offices here. And yeah, I think this thing does get better every time we do it. It's getting more comfortable too, but I'm sure it is for you guys too. And I don't know how long this is going to go on, but if I got to get that Q-tip stuck down my throat one more time, I'm so fucking sick of that. I'm really getting tired of it. I want to go back to the nose, if we can go back to the nose. But it's I don't know how long this is going to go on, but it's getting old.
One more. Mirab called out Sean O'Malley after his big win. Do you have any?
Who did?
Mirab after he won.
Okay.
He broke his own record for takedowns in a fight at bantamweight. He wants to fight Sean O'Malley. This is now another fighter calling him out. So do you have any plans for Sean O'Malley right now?
Yeah, like I was saying, for these kids that are young and come out of these fights quick, I like to turn them around quick and keep them busy. If you look at, the Conor McGregors, the Ronda Rouseys, and many others that fought a lot and stayed in front of everybody, especially right now where there's so many, there's not much going on. So many people are watching. Like, this is everybody's time to shine. The sport is at a whole nother level right now, you know what I mean? When we first started on ESPN, if you looked at the ESPN totem pole, right? You had, NFL, Major League Baseball, NBA, these guys, right? And we were like one notch above cornhole, okay? Now we sit in a much better place on the ESPN totem pole than we did, when we signed this deal a year and a half ago. And which, by the way, Cornhole almost outrated Top Rank the other night for their live fights. So congratulations to Top Rank and Bob Arum. Just give him a shout out. Good job, Bob. You're fucking brilliant, you dickhead. Any other questions? Have a good night.
I swear to God, I didn't know there was. Home cooking. You'll miss San Jose. Do you think this was done after 2 or 3 rounds? Was it over after 2 or 3? 3? Okay.
Congratulations on your victory, a big win in a main event in your new division. Give me an idea kind of how you're feeling after that performance.
I feel good. I mean, I'm always a little bit hard on myself because I want to get the finish, but I got to remind myself that I just took out the #1 contender in the flyweight division. So I guess I should feel great, but I want that finish next time. I understand I had a really short camp, but we're going to get it done next time.
Kind of a slow start coming out. I was curious if that was, by design or if it was just, getting used to what happened in the opening round.
It was just, it's been a weird time, and this whole camp felt really weird for me. I mean, when I first started, where I accepted this fight, I was literally in the gym for 1 week, and the next day I had a fight lined up. So it was just really weird, and especially because it was a 5th round fight, and so it took me a little while to just really get warmed up there, really get my feet going. I felt like I was a little slow. I was kind of going her pace, and then I was like, man, I at the end of the day, like, I need to, I moved up to flyweight, but I need to move my feet like I was a strawweight. I know I'm quick on my feet, so I needed to get my feet going a bit more. So, the first round was a little bit slow, but I also knew that I'd get stronger as the rounds go.
You were saying all the right things coming in, but, I mean, was there doubt? Was there concern? Like, am I not going to be ready for this? I mean,
it always is because this was my first, 5-round fight, And then on top of that, I knew she was going to be huge, She had missed weight. And to be honest, she didn't miss weight by 0.2. She actually missed weight by a lot more, but she held onto the towel when she got on the scale. And I know this because we received a text message from her coach, letting us know she was going to miss weight by 3.5 pounds, not 0.2. But when she showed up, she held the towel and got away with that. That's why she was so proud after she weighed in, and she was so happy that she's like, I only missed weight by 2 points out. No, so she went into this fight a lot heavier than I did. So not only did I move up a weight class, I got somebody that was a bantamweight, going in there, not fighting as flyweight.
What did you think? I mean, obviously the frustration is coming out. I mean, was there any possibility of saying, we don't want to fight you or demand more money or whatever it may be?
Absolutely not. I mean, I'm a fighter. I mean, I've missed weight before too, and everybody accepted the fight. I've fought people who've missed weight too, but it's all about how you carry yourself too outside when you miss weight. When I miss weight, I locked myself in the hotel and I freaking cried for hours. I wasn't running around fucking smiling, sorry, excuse my language, but I wasn't smiling and blah, blah, ball. So it was definitely different demeanor, but I knew that I needed to put that behind me. At the end of the day, I mean, I like Jessica and stuff like that, but just the way that whole ordeal with the weight happened, it wasn't cool, but I knew that I was gonna, it's my job, so I was gonna show up.
Last thing for me, you say you beat the top contender. Another top contender, Caitlin Chukagian, has already taken to Twitter and say, hey, she'd like to fight with you. So I'm curious if that's a matchup that you think makes sense or what you see next for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm just trying to stay busy. So whatever fight, whoever, I got to go get an MRI done. Just make sure I'm good to go. But as soon as I'm cleared, we're ready to line the next one up.
Cynthia, right here. Between rounds, Jessica seemed pretty confident she was winning. Between rounds, were you confident you were winning?
I know I was like winning the fights, but you never know with the judges. I know that her and her team were trying to sell it to the judges in between rounds, but I mean, you're not gonna fool anyone. I think it's just like, it just sucks because you must have the wrong people around you. They should tell you, like, if you're not winning the fight, they should tell you you're not, so you can push harder. You know, they should not be giving her that false confidence. You know, I feel like she did a lot of wrong things, and I don't think she deserved to I didn't think she would have deserved to be the winner tonight. I already knew what her coaches were yelling in between rounds, because even some of the combinations I used to, like, I actually know some of them. So they were just trying to put in a show for the judges. I'm glad that they seen through the bullshit. Sorry, excuse my language again.
You said you wanted to stay active. The UFC just announced Fight Island, and that seems to be their plans for moving forward for a little bit. So if you want to keep fighting, you probably have to go to Abu Dhabi. Is that something you'd be open to?
Yeah, man, I'm ready to fight all over the world. It's like freaking Mortal Kombat, you know? Let's go everywhere. Street Fighter.
Cynthia, there's 3 pizza places within 1 mile. Have you thought about where you're going to get that pepperoni, pineapple, and jalapeno to celebrate?
Man, dude, I really, that was the plan, but then I got invited to eat some tacos, so we're going to eat at Mas Por Favor Tacos tonight with some tequila, so we're eating tacos tonight and pizza tomorrow.
Everyone talked about, like moving up and all that. Like now on the other side of it, did you feel as strong as you wanted to? Did you feel like you handled everything for your move up to flyweight pretty well?
Yeah, absolutely. Considering everything that was going on, I mean, I think that this is the division that I belong. I'm going to be able to, pick up my strength a little bit more. I barely got to train for this and even got prepared. I was in the middle of training, switching gyms when this pandemic hit, and I'm extremely proud that, the fighter in me was able to pull this out, because this is not even the best me that you guys have seen. Like, that's yet to come.
You talked about, when you're in the empty arena, you want to be able to hear everything, the other corner and all that. Were you able to do that?
I was. I knew what combinations they were asking for. I knew exactly what they were doing, except for, like, they were like, dude, Kevin Lee, I don't know what combination that was, but when she was yelling, like, 1 body, 2 body, that's all bang Muay Thai stuff, and I think, Eric, her coach, like, obviously practices all those moves. I trained under Dwayne Ludwig for a long time when he was at Team Alpha Male, so I knew those moves she's throwing, those are a lot of combinations that I actually throw. So he was saying those combinations, and I think I was throwing the combinations she wasn't, so...
Final question. With stuff going on at flyweight, a lot of people feel like it is wide open after Jojo Calderwood. Being that this is your division and there's a champion like Valentina who's been so dominant making noise, as the contender, how do you feel like when that's the target at the end of it?
I mean, I feel great. It's exciting to have such a great champion, At first, I wanted to stick around at the strawweight division because it was so competitive, and I was like, man, I want to be the champion of, the best women's division in the UFC, and the strawweight division is just so deep, so talented. It's so much harder to get that title shot at the strawweight division, and so I was stubborn about it, but I knew eventually I'd have to move to flyweight. Unfortunately, I've had my mishaps, so I need to come up here, and I think Valentina, she's an amazing champ. I mean, she's probably the only fighter that gave Amanda Nunes a tough fight. And Amanda Nunes is the freaking baddest woman on the planet right now. So, yeah, it's motivating, I do know that I also need a lot of work to do, but I'm down to fight whenever, whoever, whether it be a title fight or not. But, it motivates me. It motivates me a lot that we have such a dominant champion right now as Valentina.
Cynthia, after Jessica missed weight, she went on Instagram and said that she was proud of missing like this 0.25. But when you see that and you realize it wasn't 0.25, it was actually like 3 or 4 pounds, what do you make of her saying she's proud of that, even though she's lying about the number?
Yeah, I mean, it would have been, it's not the first time a fighter has like done that and like, hold on to a towel or like try to take pounds off from the scale and stuff. But it's like, okay, yeah, go ahead, go about it, just suck it up and be quiet and then show up the next day. But the simple fact that she was like, right after she weighed in, she was so happy and she came up to me, even though I know it was bullshit, I just said, yeah, fine. She came up, she's like, oh, it was only 2.2, girl, only 2 point. But I knew, because she came up to, but I knew she had missed by more. But she was like, yeah, and I was like, yeah, don't worry about it, because I knew that I was going to go and show her up the next day, But then she goes online, you know, and then she's like, oh, you know, guys, I only missed by 0.2. I should have peed, and, you know, blah, blah, blah. Man, if it was that easy, then maybe you would have peed. Maybe you would have cut your hair to, like, really, if it was only 0.2. It was just bullshit, and it wasn't cool, like, just how she carried it, you know. I'm cool with Jessica, but just the way she handled the whole weight cut was not cool.
If you got told in advance she's going to miss weight, and then she got on the scales, did the towel trick, and then actually made weight, she's taken money out of your pocket, would you have said something?
Absolutely. 100%, because we have the texts from her coach messaging my manager saying she was 129.6 30 minutes before she weighed in. She magically took 3 pounds off? I don't think so. It's not going to fly.
Cynthia, I just wanted to ask about the journey. You seemed a little emotional there in the beginning. And so the journey for you going back home to San Jose from the alpha male and then to Sacramento and then all the different camps that you've moved along with, how has like AKA really helped you, and how has it been the journey being back home to San Jose?
Honestly, it's been crazy. I mean, I'd be lying to say if I wasn't worried or nervous coming into a fight without like going in with a new team and not being able to really, you know, get comfortable with everyone. Everything was a little bit off, like everything. Like I had to switch striking coaches a couple times because we had no gym. Like everything got shut down. Like in reality, I literally probably had my one main coach, which is Ron Kessler, and he's been doing everything in his power to make sure that I was prepared for his fight. You know, I have my other teammates, Aunt Doe, you know, Zach helping me out too. So it's like, I'm extremely grateful to be able to have people that I could rely on, you know, and it felt good to be back home with my family. You know, I got a reminder of why I'm doing this, you know, and I'm doing this for my family. I'm doing it for all the kids and all the people that grew up in Eastside San Jose, you know, people, you know, against all odds, you know. I'm not supposed to be sitting up here, but we're fucking doing it.
You said that, and I saw that video where you went back to Overfelt, and I know the area pretty well. So when you go back there and you know, I don't know if you got the opportunity to speak to the kids, and I'm just wondering like how they may have reacted to you being a UFC fighter and talking, because like you said in the video, the neighborhood is not a great neighborhood to grow up in.
Yeah, unfortunately because of the pandemic and because the everything was closed, I haven't got actually the opportunity to go talk to the kids yet, but that's one of my goals. Like, it's always been my dream since I started fighting that one day I was going to win this UFC champion belt, and then I was going to walk into that school and I was going to show all these kids, like, you know, you're not just Eastside San Jose. You can do whatever you want in the world. Like, if I can do it, you can do it. So that's one of those things. I actually just started working with their organization called Bay Area Beat the Streets, and they help with a lot of like kids, you know, help them out with wrestling and being able to provide, you know, an outlet for them, you know, a place, you know, where they can feel safe and, you know, do great things. And so I'm really excited to be on this platform to be able to do that.
Thank you.
Yep.
That's a hometown question.
Thanks, guys.
Do you know the way to San Jose?